Good morning, this is Kelley Hobart on Technique Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm looking forward to seeing the kids and Evie, my granddaughter, so that's totally awesome. But today we are talking about a very simple pattern that we are releasing, and it's a pattern that I wrote, and it is using ruching. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it is a sort of kind of ruffling type appearance, and right here is what it looks like. It's from this Barbara Walker book, and it's called A Treasury of Knitting Patterns, and it creates just using stockinette stitch. And all you do is you knit front and back, and then you create your ruffled edge. Now this one is 50% increase in stitches, meaning that it has a knit one, knit front and back all the way around for this section in here, just one time, and then you would knit 10 rounds just knitting it straight, and then you would be going knit one, knit two together to bring it back down to the original stitch count, and then you bring it up 50%, and then you bring it back down, and then you create these stripes. And it's all done in stockinette stitch, which means you knit every round, which is totally cool.
So people are coming online. So Sherry says hi, and Marilyn.
Good morning, Sherry. It's nice to have you with us. I'm so excited about this cowl because I could see myself making a bunch of these and using them kind of like hoods in the rain. You know, you can wear it around your neck, and then if it starts to rain, you can pull it up over your head and keep your hair dry. So, and it's using our wonderful Coeur d'Alene yarn that we have, but you see how it's just made out of stockinette stitch, and then with a 50% increase in stitches by knit one, knit front and back, and then you do 10 rounds just knitting even, and then you do it again over and over. Super simple, and it's using our Sasquatch yarn. And what is this colorway called? This is called Majestic, and it is hand dyed for us, and it has really nice superwash merino and 10% cashmere and 10% nylon. Super nice yarn. I really enjoyed knitting with it. Also, you'll notice I have a scarf around my neck, and it was our knit club project, and it is using Suena worsted by Haiku. And here are some of the colorways. This blue in the center was the color that we used in the kit. And what I love about this yarn is it has a durability to it because of the twist of the yarn. It is sturdy. So I'll be able to wear this for a long time, and it's not gonna wear out because the yarn has a nice twist on it, and it's superwash merino and bamboo. So it's super soft. I really like it. And this is a different kind of cabling. It's called braided cables. Kind of looks like when I used to braid my horse's hair. And it has a really cute edge on it that's done by cabling. And it was totally fun. A nice reprieve from what we had been doing. So it was fun. So this last week, we had our, you know, every week we have a prize, right? So this last week, we had a choice of these two colorways, right, Jim? Mm-hmm. And which one won?
It was the tartan or the Hayden, and the Hayden
one.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a pretty colorway. It has some really nice gold in there. And our dyer that dyes it for us does a really good vibrant colors. So it's a joy to knit with. And for this week, we have, I was thinking I was use the speckled colorways. And so I was thinking green or the mauve tones, and you guys help me decide. And the way you do that is you post comments in the comment section and let me know which one you like. And then next week we can give it to the lucky winner. And so that again is the green button and the rose color. And don't forget to push that button, that share and like button. And then don't forget to tell us where you're from. Maybe what you're working on. If you have really cool patterns, can you share with me? Because I love getting new knitting ideas. So, and there are some beautiful projects that people do. We have this VIP group, and we have a wonderful group of knitters that shares all of their projects as they complete them and as they're working on them. And if you have any questions, you can get help there. wonderful bunch of knitters, and it's free, right, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
And how do people sign up for that?
They just join the group. It's free.
So you just
It's
join
on
the group.
Facebook. Yep.
Yep, on Facebook, and you can sign up for the VIP group and be part of it. Wonderful group of ladies. I totally agree.
Knit Club ladies too. So it's part of the Knit Club too.
Yes, they help each other. It's so awesome. So anyway, if you haven't seen these, a treasury of knitting patterns, this is where I found the idea for ruching. Okay? So I made up a nice little sample, and I wanted to go through it with you. Some things that I was thinking about here. Let's bring this here. So, let's see what we have here.
And why would they use this again?
It's kind of a way to make stripes without actually striping. Do you see how you have it's used with the same needle size, that's what I did on mine, and then you increase and then you decrease back down. And you can decrease by knitting front and back, or you can do yarn overs. So this was a 50% increase in stitch count. This was double the stitch count, so you see how that's really ruffled. Now remember, when you're doing these doubling the stitch count and what have you, that you're using more yarn, so make sure to allow for that. But it was totally fun. So this one was knit front and back all the way across, although I did keep my garter edge to keep it from rolling, and it was still wanting to roll. That's why I pinned it like this. So, and then I went up to this one right here, which is only a 50% increase in stitches. So it was a knit 1, knit front and back. But actually I did a knit 2 yarn over on this. So to show you that you could even do yarn overs and make like a lace section in between your ruffle and your normal stockinette stitch to even outline it even more. So I thought that was a good idea. And then, let's see, so this was doubled. This one was 50%. This one was still 50%. It was another one of this, but just using knit front and back. You see the purl bump there? So I used a knit front and back for increases instead of yarn overs that I used here. So that's what that looks like. And that's what I used in my pattern. And you see how it creates the striping, and all you're doing is stockinette stitch, knit, 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 knit. And then I thought, what if you do different colors with 50% increase in stitches? So here was knit front and back increases, but it was knit 1, knit front and back. So it was a 50% increase. And right here, you can't really, it's not as evident. The ruching isn't as visible unless you see, Jim, I'm gonna reach.
I'll get it.
Yep, awesome. So on here, you can see, can you see how you can see the ruching? It actually shows up as almost stripes. And it's the same gauge, all knit stitches, except for I did 50% increase in stitches, and then I brought it back down, and then I went back up, and then I went down, went up, down, and it made the striping like that. And you can see how it's kind of bubbled out at the edges, but it helps make your fabric really soft. It adds a little interest to your project, and still you're only doing stockinette stitch, but it makes it fun enough that you're doing something different enough that you can actually pay attention and have fun knitting it, not mess up. Sometimes I find if it's too simple of a project, I'll actually mess it up just because it's boring. But this is not a boring knit, it's fun. I like it. So a couple things that I wanted to, let me see if, make sure I mentioned everything. So from the bottom up, this was double the stitch count. Then we had knit 2 yarn over. Then we had this was a 50% increase in stitch count. This was a 50% increase in stitch count with the knit front and back, and a 50% stitch count with your stripes. So I think with the stripes, maybe doing the double, I'm not sure. But it really does leave a very interesting effect, and I think if I had my choice, I like it in the round like this. So I'm gonna try and see if I can make another one of these, and I was thinking that I would cut 30% of the stitches out of it, and I wanted to show you the way that I figured that out. So I cast on 156 stitches, and it's 30 inches around. So I go 156 stitches divided by 30 gives me 5.2 stitches per inch. So I know that I have 5.2 stitches per inch, and I am going to multiply that by 10. And so I have 52 stitches. So I'm going to take 156 minus 52, and it's 104. So that is how I did mine, to take a little bit of the width off of it to make it smaller. So we'll see how that goes. And then I should have it smaller and longer. So I'll have to try that and see how it works out. But I really do. And another thing that I did is I cast on using a large needle. I think I used number 5. It'll tell you in the pattern what size needle I used. And I really like the fabric. I wish I could show you, but it is super, super soft. And yet warm too. You don't hardly know that you're wearing it. And I really, really like the fabric. So I always think about, when I'm knitting something, is it something that is comfortable to wear? And so yes, this is very comfortable to wear. Keeps you nice and warm. So I wanted to show you real quick. So if I was going to just double the stitch count, I'm just going to knit the edge here to help keep it from ruffling. And I would again be using the ruching and the round. I feel like it's a better use of this actual technique. So all you do to create the ruching is you knit front and back all the way across the round. So I'm knitting in the front and knitting in the back of every single stitch. Or you can do knit one, knit front and back if you only want to do a 50% increase in stitches, and then you would have your pattern. So I would knit until I'm getting over to this other side, and so I'm knitting every single stitch in the front of the stitch and the back of the stitch, and the last 2 stitches I'll keep the same. So I have here, so that is when it's increased. Then I would go ahead and knit the stitches in stockinette stitch. Now when it's knit flat, I'm purling around and knitting around, but when I'm in the round, it's all knitting, so it goes much faster. But that is how you increase to be able to do ruching on whatever the pattern is that you want to create that effect on. But I just thought it was kind of cool that you can create something that looks so different and still just being knit stitches, still having it be knit stitches. So if you need a project that is super easy and is so soft,
why don't you try it on?
I really, really, really like it.
Show how
okay.
It does your little rain. You called it, what's it called again?
Well, it's a Let It Rain hood, and the reason why I said is because I can pull it up over my head if it's rainy or whatever, and see how I made it nice and loose so that I can enjoy wearing it, and I don't even know that I have it on, so it's kind of cool. I like it.
Okay, now when the rain starts, so it happens.
Yeah. Oh, you could pull it up over your head and keep your hair dry. Yeah, so anyway, I thought it was kind of fun to knit. I enjoyed knitting it. It took me a couple days to make it, so it was, relatively easy. And for goodness sake, you didn't even have to think. I could do it when I was so tired I could barely see straight, and I could still knit just fine because all it is a knit stitch. So it's great. TV watching, social knitting group project, something like that. You can't hardly mess it up. So totally cool, but I enjoyed that. So you guys don't forget to vote on what prize we're going to give away this week. And for what was our last week's one? See, this last week's one was the lucky winner. And for this week, we have the speckled ones.
And they have to vote.
Green or mauve. And you guys help me choose so I can get the prettiest one out in the mail to the winner. Isn't it beautiful? Beautiful yarn. So now for you beginners out there that are trying new skills, this is a perfect project. Don't forget, when you're taking on a new skill, only 1 or 2 skills at a time. to practice 1 hour a day and to try and pick 3 projects in a row that use the skill that you're going to do. So that's the 3-2-1 rule. So anyways, that's the way I like to learn. So I hope that helps you. And then what are we doing? Oh, you guys don't forget to tell us what projects you're working on. Maybe show us, give us the name of the pattern, and we can enjoy it, and we might make it too. Oh yeah, and don't forget to share and press that like button, and then we can share with our buddies and we can all learn together. But I thought this ruching technique was really cool, and I thought it's kind of cool that you can have such a simple little thing and get a dramatic effect out of it. And it was fun to knit. Great social knitting project. So I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Gotta have the prize, gotta have the winner.
Oh, we are gonna have a, yes. D Dunk is the winner of this beautiful yarn Sasquatch in the Hayden colorway. So D, all you have to do is get in touch with us, give us your shipping address, and we can get this out in the mail to you. Maybe you can make one of these cows. It is totally soft. I'm really enjoying wearing it. We're supposed to get some wind and snow tomorrow. So just in time for the bad weather, I'll be ready. Totally cool. Did I miss anything, Jim? Okay, so in summary, we did this beautiful cow. Little tiny techniques can create a dramatic effect in your knitting. It can make it look totally lovely. Look at that. It looks like it has stripes. And I didn't do anything but knit. Totally cool. So, as usual, it's all in the details. So I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Yes, Jim?
Tell them if they want the pattern, just to put a comment in to let us know.
Oh,
if they,
yes.
because we haven't made the pattern up yet for download. So if that's something they want to send.
I actually have completed the pattern, and Jim still needs to upload the photo, and then it will be released to you. So if you guys are interested in the pattern, put comments in the comment section, and that'll hurry Jim right on up so he can finish her up. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And what am I going to be doing this next week? What did I write for? I may be doing headbands that fit. We'll see. If I don't do headbands that'll fit, you can be sure it'll be something else. I had a few ideas. Okay, so I was thinking about maybe headbands. I was also thinking about bed socks. And there was something else I was thinking about. Anyways, it's going to be one of those things. So you tune in next Tuesday, and I hope you enjoy your time with your families. And I will be talking to you soon. Take care.